well. Thank you for loving Dad so well. I'd like to say that you'll never know what that means to us, but there's one thing that I've learned firsthand during this. 1 Peter 5:9 says, the same kinds of suffering are being experienced by your brotherhood throughout the world. I've met so many through this who are intimately acquainted with the pain of loss, like we are today. And as sad as it is, I'm grateful to not be alone. It has challenged me greatly to make sure I never miss an opportunity to weep with someone, to talk if needed, but for the most part, just listen. To do anything that I can do to let them know that they are loved, seen, and never alone. Just one of the scriptures that comes to life right now is 2 Corinthians 1, verses 3 through 7. All praise to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. God is our merciful Father and the source of all comfort. He comforts us in all of our troubles so that we can comfort others. When they are troubled, we will be able to give them the same comfort God has given us. For the more we suffer for Christ, the more God will shower His comfort on us through Jesus. Even when we are weighed down with troubles, it is for your comfort and salvation. For when we ourselves are comforted, we will certainly comfort you. Then you can patiently endure the same things we suffer. We are confident that as you share in our sufferings, you will also share in our comfort that God gives us. The older I get, the more I realize I look like Dad, I sound like Dad, the good and the bad. But lately I've just been grateful that I look and sound anything like him. I was having coffee with a friend here recently, and we were talking about some work that he was doing on his sister's house, and it's just a ton of work. So I was like, man, that's hard work. And for some reason, he wanted to take the time to tell me. He said that Dad worked harder than anybody he knew, and that when he got to work with him, he would come home, and my friend would watch my dad meet us at the door. We would come running, and he would pick us up and play with us like it was the first thing he had done that day. And that's what I do. He never stopped working. He never stopped loving. Even when he would discipline us, I have a moment burned in my memory of me being an ornery teenager. And who knew, right? And so he was disciplining me. I was in my teens. I don't know if he was still whooping me, but either way. He looked at me and he started crying. And he said, son, I don't like doing this. I discipline you because I love you. And that's how he loved. I'll never forget that. And I carry that with my kids, to not discipline out of anger, but discipline out of love. And when things got tough, it seemed like the best came out of Dad. I have several memories in my mind of when life was tough for us or the family, and it just seemed like God allowed Dad to be sweeter and more broken and more loving and more patient. There are lots of memories I have from the last months with Dad. Lots of good things, lots of hard things. But one thing I'll never forget is what he did with the time he had left. It's important to do well when it's easy. But what do we do when it's difficult? My dad prayed for others when his whole body was broken. And even with everything surrounding that, his heart broke for the lost and far from Jesus and the hurting. And I will never forget that. And I won't be the same because of it.